Welcome to Alley Park's Nature Center and another episode of Nature Tales presented by Lancaster Parks and Recreation. Well, today I am Rockin T, and I'm going to be bringing you the latest and greatest in the newest group called the Birds. And not just the birds, but the hummingbirds. Little tiny creatures that we're going to go and see if we can capture some footage of. The bird is very tiny, and the nest you can find in trees. They're made out of spider webs, and on the outside they oftentimes will put lichen or moss type things. I've got my hand down here to kind of show you how tiny those nests actually are. Let's move to the feeder. I'm out here to the feeder now, and in the feeder I have some water, some sugar water, and it's 4 parts water, 1 part sugar, and I've got it up there so that they do come. And now we might be playing the waiting game. While we continue to wait, just know that I saw one over my shoulder, but he hasn't come to the feeder yet. The ruby-throated hummingbird, the one with the red on its throat, is the male, and then the greenish-colored ones or brownish are the females. So we do have a pair that frequents this feeder often. They're also known in the wild as little helicopters. Those wings beat so very fast, and that's what makes that humming-like sound. So I'll continue to wait for them to come get a drink. They've arrived. One of them has. Can we get a little closer look? Oh, and off we go again. Let's wait and see if someone else shows up. Still waiting, still waiting. Did you know that their helicopter-like wings allows them to go forward and backwards, as well as beating 80 wing beats a minute? That is amazing. She's coming in. I'm gonna try to get her on the other side of the feeder. There she is, and she's off again. I believe this is the male. If it turns here, oh, and it's gone. They're so very quick. Being patient isn't always my best attribute, for sure. So I thought I'd talk to you for a couple minutes about hummingbirds. One is that sometimes when you look out at some of your flowers or something, you might notice that there is a moth, a sphinx moth, that actually looks very similar to a hummingbird. We call it the hummingbird moth around here because it looks so much like it. So be aware and be looking for that. And of course it's going to be a little bit smaller than the actual birds themselves. So the buzzing sound that gives them their name hum is their wings in flight, but they do actually produce a little chick and other high pitches or squeaks that we don't necessarily recognize all the time. I'm feeling so lucky that in this half hour that I've sat here, we've been able to capture 3 visits up here to the feeder. So with that, I'm going to say this is Rockin T for another Nature Tales, and visiting and listening to our friends, the hummingbirds.